Alright everyone, take a seat. Before we get into today's video, just open those ears. Do you hear that distant sound? That beautiful tiered symphony? That right there is the excuses out in drones, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, is it beautiful. Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video we are here to talk about Rangers absolutely spanking Celtic yet again. But unlike the last performance from the Glasgow Rangers, there was no offside goal to bail them out this time. Nah. There was just a handball goal, a BS penalty, and pretty much a referee that tried to do everything he could. But it wasn't enough this time to bail Celtic out. Thankfully, Rangers do their job in front of goal. They take some chances, they put the ball in the back of the net, and they come away with Parkhead with a 2-1 win, which now moves them to 2 points behind Celtic with a game in hand. But before we go any further, as always, let's give the sponsorship a wee bit of love. Shout out to OneFootball. The link will be down there in the description below if you want a wee bit in the football news. But let's just get to the game of football then, shall we? And before a ball was even kicked, we were all wondering, we were all discussing, we were all debating how Rangers should approach this match. Should they be a wee bit more defensive? Should they be a bit more cautious? Or should they just go out there and show that they are a better football team? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was the latter, because from the first whistle to the last, that's exactly what Rangers proved. Because when you've got Andy Walker, who absolutely despises everything about Rangers, having to come on commentary about the 65th, 70th minute in this match and giving credit to Rangers because this is Celtic's strongest 11. There's no one injured, there's no one missing. This is Celtic at their peak and Rangers were better. And that right there sums up better than I will be able to do in today's video. So if that's what you were coming to hear, that Rangers were better in every single aspect, you got it, you heard it from the horse's mouth. But if you want to stick on for today's video, we're going to be discussing the game a wee bit further and discussing these individual performances for Rangers because everyone was outstanding. And like we said from the very first whistle, we just punted it right in their half and we went after them. There was energy, there was aggression, there was teamwork from every single player in the Rangers shirt, and Celtic had absolutely no answer, passing side to side, side to side. I mean, the only criticism you can have from a Rangers perspective is once again we weren't clinical enough in front of goal. We should have been clear within 30 minutes, but we weren't quite at our best once again in front of goal, and you're thinking to yourself, oh no, is this going to be another one of these tales where we dominate and then he put the ball in the back of net? Well, you're thinking about that, right, about 30 minutes into the game, and Kevin Clancy goes, Celtic are struggling, penalty to Celtic. And I think it was Chris Boyd at half-time that said, Kevin Clancy is looking directly at that incident, waiting to give the penalty kick to Celtic. And yes, he is pulling his shirt, right? And by the letter of the law, that's a penalty. But if that's a penalty, every single corner is a penalty kick, because you know if you're not being biased and if you're not being stupid, that happens every single corner. And if you look about three Rangers' corner, Christie's doing it to Joe Rebo every single time. But there was no penalty given. But thankfully, Ryan Christie did step up. Now, he did miss his last one at Ross County, I believe it was, and he managed to tuck in the rebound. But Alan McGregor, ending the decade the way he started it, being an absolute Rangers hero with a fantastic penalty save and making sure the rebound didn't this time fall to Christie. And I feel like I bore you guys by saying this, but I cannot express how much I love Alan McGregor. Is by far the best goalkeeper in the country, and whenever there's a big moment, he steps up and he's always there. Honestly, man, there's so much excitement, there's so much happiness by the way the rest of the game went, but that right there was vital. Stopping that, making sure Celtic didn't take a lead when they didn't deserve it from a BS referee incident was absolutely massive, not only for the game, but for the player's psyche. And it showed you that within 5 minutes of the penalty save, we stepped up with a bit of brilliance. It starts with Bonnebear Barisic, of course. It starts with BB down the left hand side. He doesn't rush the cross, he doesn't just fire it into an area. He lifts his head, he looks for Ryan Kidd, he passes it in. But Chris Sutton, eat your heart out, son. You take digs at this laddie every single time because of his price tag. That finish right there, worth every penny. And honestly, I'm just too excited to even give this goal the credit it deserves. This finish from Ryan Kent is spectacular, man. The ball's coming right to him. He hits it first time with his left foot, and it's in before the big Fraser Foster can even turn his massive noggin. It's in the back of net before the goalie moves. A terrific goal from Ryan Kent, and it was fully deserved. And at that moment, you're thinking to yourself, right, we've survived the scare, we've got the goal, everything's gone nice. Now let's go and smash this mob, because they aren't near our level. They've showed that within the first 36 minutes of this game. But as Celtic usually do, they responded, and it was just a kick right square in the crown jewels, because not only is it a deflection that obviously puts it in because it's gone straight to Alan McGregor, but it hits clearly off Edouard's hand. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they score a handball goal and you just fall back and you're like, of course they're going to equalise by a deflected handball goal. Of course they are. Yep. But I'll tell you something right now, I could not be prouder of every single one of those Rangers players, because you can imagine what that'd be like up here, right? You just played in that final, dominated, lost for a goal that shouldn't have stood. You've just been dominating at Parkhead where no one dominates at Parkhead, especially in the league. You took the lead and you concede through a deflected handball goal. Man, would that not just crumble you up there? But these Rangers players showed that they are so mentally tough, and they got to half-time, even with a couple of minutes where it looked like Celtic were starting to turn on the screw. Rangers rallied, they calmed it down, they got to half-time, and that was just as vital as the penalty save, in my personal opinion. Fantastic mentality for the boys. And just in case I haven't made myself clear on whether or not I think this goal should have stood, the commentary summed it up perfectly. If VAR was in Scottish football, the goal wouldn't have stood, but it isn't, so it did. Awesome. Now, about 20 to 30 seconds ago, I talked about how proud I was of these Rangers players just getting to half-time. Well, that pride just continued, ladies and gentlemen, because we started the second the same way we started the first, and that was in control. Now, to be fair, the set pieces for both teams were very, very dangerous. You had Stephen Davis knocking 2 off the line because he just had a masterclass denying Julian twice, and on the Rangers end, there was chance after chance, but in the 55th minute, Borna Barisic with a wonderful cross into the box. Who steps up? The Croatian prince, I hear you ask? Nah. The boy is the Croatian king. He rose like a salmon and he buried it into the back of net. What a goal, what a delivery, and we're 2-1 up in the 55th minute. Is this real or did I dream this? Now, from the 55th minute onward, Celtic obviously had to respond, so you saw them committing a lot more people forward, and they were starting to becoming chances for both sides, and that's kind of the way the game went into the end. There was half chance here, half chance here. Celtic piling people forward. They had to take James Forrest off, who once again was absolutely stinking. You can talk about Borna Barisic's fantastic deliveries and his 2 assists, but he had Forrest on a leash and the boys not even got a neck. Think about that. That is how good Barisic actually is. He's not just the attacking flair, he's a lockdown defending fullback as well, and that doesn't get spoken about enough. So he trotted off, right? Forrest offering nothing in the game, and the substitutes that Lennon threw on offered absolutely none. You hear how big and how good this Celtic team is and how strong they are in depth. Every single player that came on was just a passenger. And that leads me to my next talking point, because I know there's people already out here making excuses. There's pundits, there's even fans saying, aye, Celtic were crap, they'll not be this crap again. But they said that in the final, ladies and gentlemen. We went to their ground and battered them. Let's just admit something that is quite clear. You see, this isn't Celtic having an off day or Celtic being bad. This is Rangers being brilliant and dominating Celtic to make them look bad. This isn't Celtic not turning up. Rangers made them like that. And regarding the game recap, I'm not going to break down every single incident because I didn't want to take up all your day. I genuinely just want to get this out just to see what your reaction is, because we've been through a lot and I just want to share this with you guys. But there's obviously one incident we need to talk about. That was late on in the game, and that was the fact that Alfredo Morelos was sent off for 2 bookable offences. The first one being a foul on Scott Brown, which I don't think any other forward or any other player on the park is getting booked besides Alfredo Morelos for that. It's just one of them, man, come on. But even booked Alfredo Morelos late in the game. The game's done and dusted at this point. There should be a whistle blown, by the way, because I think it's 94 minutes and 45 seconds at this point. The whistle should be blown. It's past the halfway line, but Clancy lets it run on because he's choking on sending him off, and eventually does get his wish. And I've got to be fair, Alfredo Morelos should probably just hit it, because Cham actually pushes him into the ball. He could easily just hit it, but he throws himself onto the ground. He gets sent off, but genuinely couldn't care less. The amount of abuse that man received in the entire game, being able to sit there for the last 15 seconds, take his shin pads off, take his dirty wristband, drop it on the park and walk off with his head held high, knowing his team had won. That was worth it, ladies and gentlemen, and he genuinely had that entire stadium, everyone in there, on strings. What a performance for Morelos. Yes, he didn't score, but let's look at what else he did in the game. Winning cheap fouls, bringing others into play. Passing was actually pretty good today as well. So yeah, I'm no one to say take digs at Morelos for getting sent off in that game. The game was done and dusted. He was a wee bit silly there at the end, but again, Morelos, enjoy it, son, because they'll be thinking about you for the next 3 weeks. But with the game recapped, all done and dusted, let's turn our attention to some individual player performance. Now again, I'm not going to take up all of your day, but there is players we need to talk about. We need to talk about Alan McGregor. staunch as always. You need to talk about Tavernier. That was a captain's performance against Rangers. Now, this guy gets a lot of flack, and I always defend him, and sometimes I get flack for defending him, but that performance right there, I know Bonabir Barisic won the man of the match, and rightly so. He was outstanding. But let's not forget about the captain. What a performance locking down that entire right-hand side. The two centre-backs, that is what we want to see. Connor Goldson and Katic. It's the partnership we deserve. We've already talked about Barisic. He was outstanding, rightly deserved the man of the match, but so could anyone pretty much that was on the part. You had the midfield, you had Kamara running himself into the ground, you had Ryan Jack, who did have a wee sort of off 40 minutes, I'm going to be honest with you, and I love Ryan Jack, but again, he showed his mental toughness in the second half, didn't put a foot wrong, got stuck in, he tracked every single runner, and he was a big part in how we were able to shut down Celtic's attack, because sometimes it goes a wee bit unnoticed, but just tracking and making sure that Ryan Christie's got someone on him all times is vital to our team, and him and Stephen Davis were outstanding on that. Cut the head of the Celtic attack and made sure they offered nothing in the final third of the park. And I just briefly mentioned him, but what a performance for Stephen Davis. That is a masterclass. You can talk about your Callum McGregors, all this and that, but there's no one better than him at doing what he does, and that is controlling a game of football. Still at his age, he's running the show, and there's no one close. I thought Ryan Kent and Joe Aribo ran themselves into the ground. They were always available. They were willing to take the challenge. They were willing to take balls in difficult places. They were outstanding. And again, we've already mentioned Alfredo. His performance, every single player deserves a mention in that. I could not be happier. And every single one of them will now be named in my firstborn's name. It's a bit long, I'm going to be honest with you, but it's worth it. But that's it. That's me all done and dusted. I am finished for today's video. I am now handing the reins over to you guys. I want to hear what you have to say about that performance and result from Rangers going into the new year. While you guys are sharing your opinions, I will jump over to Twitter and hear from the people on there. So let's jump over to Twitter then. I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't even wearing the cap today, but someone put a wee smart arse comment in the last Old Firm result saying, haha, that's the sad cap. Well, I'm a sad now, sir. Hopefully you are watching. But let's jump over to Twitter. There was no man of the match poll, as you can imagine, because it was simply glorious. So let's see what the people's had to say then, shall we? Peter Ramsey said every single Rangers player was outstanding. I am so proud of every single one of them. Fiona Valentine writes in Davis. That's the missus, by the way. So shout out to her. Kenzie writes in absolutely 100% deserved, and that is satisfaction. Look at big Chrissy Boyd, eh? Agent Boyd lulling them into a false sense of security, taking wee digs at Rangers, working his way up to the top. Now he's prime time, he's gaining it back, and he's loving every second of it. Shout out to Chrissy Boyd. He was absolutely outstanding today as well. Mike.G writes in, that's been coming for a while then, CJ. I love the emotion Gerrard showed at the end. He's different class. No one left anything out there today. I'm absolutely buzzing for the whole team and us Bears. Love that, mate. Genuinely love that. Stuart writes in, class from Rangers. It was a fully deserved win. Robert writes in, Barisic was top class. Aribo was top notch. Katic was solid at the back, and that goal was incredible. And Big BB deserved the man of the match for 2 great assists. Kimberly writes in, I'm sure my arse has a 6-pack by now. We deserved that win, and I thought Tav had a brilliant game also. That's twinsies, mate. Honestly, I could do sit-ups back there. Joseph writes in, time to party, CJ. You're damn right it is, son. Ethan just goes, yes! Yes! I think I nailed that, if I'm honest with you. Raymond writes in, man of the match has to be Davis. Kept Cresty out of the game and his tireless engine all afternoon. Callum Bryce writes in, Stephen Davis was outstanding. Bruce Tate, Goldson deserves a big shout out, CJ. He was absolutely top class today with some top class defending. You're damn right. And John Rogers writes, we are the people, CJ. We are indeed. And the last one we're going to read in tonight's video comes from Ewan_Trueblue, and he writes in, CJ, we done it. Do I need to say any more? The pride of Scotland, but that's nothing new. The pride of Glasgow, and Glasgow is blue. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people. You've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, get in those comments. I want to hear what you have to say about that performance and result from Rangers. But that's it. That's us all done and dusted now. I'm going to be away for a couple of days, as I am treating the missus to a wee trip away for a couple of days, but I will be back early on in the new year with some cringy videos that you can all hopefully enjoy. But as always, I've been Siege over 92. I hope every single one of you has a fantastic new year, however you're spending it. I'm sure you're going to be spending it wisely. And as always, thank you for watching, and bye.